Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be very short and very sweet. We're just going to be talking about 5 books that I want to read this spring that I don't have any set video plans for, but that I'm hoping I can squeeze in at some point. To be honest with you, the weather where I live does not actually get spring-like until May or sometimes even June. The main difference is that instead of it being freezing with snow, it's freezing with sunshine. And sunshine means spring, right? So even if it's still only 20 degrees outside, like, it's spring because there's sun. And we haven't seen the sun since like November. So it's very exciting. We have a beautiful sunny day today. Look at this wonderful lighting. I'm just in awe. So like I said, this video is going to be super quick, super short. I'm just going to be telling you about the 5 books that I want to read and that I'm hoping to get in my schedule at some point. The first book is The Wizard of Oz. I just feel like spring is like a time to read like easy, whimsical stories, and I've never actually read The Wizard of Oz. I have this super cool vintage copy of it that it's just so pretty, and obviously we all know the plot of this, but just in case you've been living under a rock, basically we're following Dorothy, and Dorothy is transported to this magical world during a tornado in Kansas. And Dorothy ends up kind of having to save the day. She meets lots of characters along her way, and she has to journey to find the wizard to make her way back home. So that's this one. This edition is so cool. It has a ton of illustrations, which are so fun. I love illustrations, and obviously this is going to be a super quick read because it's a children's story. I believe that this book is like 200 pages, but look at the size of the font. I can finish that in probably an hour. So this is one that I think will be pretty easy for me to get to. I can just read it on an afternoon when I'm kind of in between video projects, and I'm really excited to finally experience this and fully understand the original story. Next is Red Island House. This cover is stunning, by the way. This is just a super short literary fiction about this woman who marries this really wealthy man. He has this kind of sprawling estate in Madagascar, and as she kind of changes and adapts to this new way of life for her, previously she's been a professor. I believe she's from America. And she marries this British guy. He has this home in Madagascar. She goes there and she's kind of confronted with this new way of life, this new way of living, and she has to kind of reconcile her present with the past. Oh, okay. So the house is in a dissolute expatriate colony. Caught between privilege and instinctive connection to the continent of her ancestors, can she keep her identity and her marriage intact amid the sensual beauty and lingering colonial sins of this twisted tropical Eden? That was very hard to say. So again, this is just like literary women's fiction. This girlie is thinking about her life and her choices and her values, and I love a good women's fiction. I don't read women's fiction a ton, so when I do pick it up, I tend to really enjoy it just because it's a nice change of pace for me, and I just think it's fun to like change up my reading habits, and this one seems like it's gonna do a great job. Plus it's under 300 pages, 275 pages, quick read. I have a feeling that the writing in this is going to be stunning. I'm sure that the reviews of this are really great as well. I think this has a very high rating on Goodreads, if I'm remembering correctly, although don't quote me on that. Okay, next I have The Wishing Game, which Book of the Month kindly sends you for free if you have been a subscriber to them for a certain amount of time. The nominees for their best book of the year. After the winner is decided, you can pick one of those 5 books to add to your box for free. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you credit. It just is a perk of having Book of the Month. I actually am going to have a Book of the Month reading vlog up either the week before this video or the week after this video goes up. I think it's going to be the week after this video goes up. So check that out. This book is not in there. I've mostly finished that video already. I just have a lot of editing to do. But anyway, that's besides the point. This book, I am a little confused on the plot. But again, it has a super insanely high rating on Goodreads. We're following this woman, and she's working as a teacher aide, and she loves to read, and there's this boy that she is really drawn to, not in a weird way, like she really likes him as a student, and she wants to adopt him, I think? Yes. And then there's also this author, this very like mysterious, famous author that's hosting a like giveaway of a signed copy of his book, but it's like really valuable for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, she's picked as one of the contestants that gets to try her hand at winning a copy of this book, and she goes on a magical adventure in a magical bookstore house, something like I said, I'm a little confused on the plot. It seems a little convoluted. I'm sure it will make more sense once I actually start reading it. I believe that this book is just really lighthearted, magical, whimsy, cute, but also has some like heartfelt sentiments in there that make it really worthwhile. So sorry that I didn't pitch this one particularly well to you, but I'm sure that you've heard of it since it's so popular this year, or I guess last year now. I'm not quite caught up with 2024 yet, but I'm really hoping to get to this one. Again, it's not very long. I think it's like 275 pages. Yep. So good short book that I can hopefully get through quickly, and something that I will hopefully love since it's so beloved by the book community already. Next is another book of the month book, which is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I don't know that I am gonna really like this, but I'm really hoping that I do. Again, stunning cover. This is absolutely beautiful. I don't think I've read anything from Alex E. Harrow, but I know that she has a kind of strange way of writing that really doesn't work for everyone, so I'm a little nervous going in, but hopefully like the weird is gonna work with me. Again, short book, under 300 pages. We're following this girl who is kind of obsessed with the history of this family and this mysterious house, Starling House, and somehow she gets a chance to step inside the house, and there are some very startling secrets and ghosts from the past that she is going to confront. I believe she also is trying to help her brother somehow. I don't really understand what kind of trouble he's in, but she's hoping that somehow this process of going into this house and learning about its secrets will help him. Again, like these plot synopsises in Book of the Month books, I just feel like they are a little all over the place, and they're a little bit hard for me to put together like a cohesive pitch in a couple sentences, because no one wants to sit here and listen to me read you word for word the 4-paragraph synopsis in here. But the synopsis doesn't really go together. Anyway, that's a side note. I love a weird, kind of haunted, maybe haunted question mark house story, and I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that I love this. Like I said, this will be my first experience with this author, so I'm hoping that it goes well. I'm just a little nervous, but definitely something that I want to get to very soon. And the last book that I want to read for this spring season is Under Lock and Skeleton Key. This book, I've actually started reading it as an audiobook, and then I just couldn't stand the narrator, but I was really interested in the story, so I was like, I'm gonna wait and see if I can find a physical copy of this. A couple months later, found a physical copy at my used bookstore, and it was $2, so perfect. But then I just haven't picked it back up since. It hasn't fit into my reading plans recently. This book is following this woman. I believe that she's an actor. It doesn't specifically say, but I'm pretty sure that she's an actress. Something kind of happens where her career goes off the rails, so she moves back home, and she's kind of helping out her dad, and he has this business where he constructs houses that are larger or different than they appear to be on the outside. It's giving like House of Leaves vibes, but like cozy mystery style. So we love to see it, and also much less confusing in the formatting. One day she goes out to her dad's like newest project, and she ends up finding the body of a woman, or maybe it's not her, but someone on the site finds the body of a woman in a wall that's supposedly been sealed for like 100 years, but this woman is like known to our protagonist. So how is that possible? We're not sure. So she has to go and kind of solve this seemingly unsolvable mystery in these really weird houses that her dad builds. I believe her own house as well that she's living in with her grandpa right now. We love to see a grandpa relationship as well. That is so heartwarming. But I believe the house that she lives in is also constructed similarly, and from what I remember the first time that I read it, I only got like 5% in because I seriously couldn't handle the way that the narrator was narrating. But from what I remember, she is reflecting a lot on her childhood in the beginning of the story and how fun it was to explore her dad's projects, and now obviously that's taken kind of a sinister turn. I haven't heard anyone talk about this literally ever, so hopefully if it's good, I can give it some good publicity and get some of you to pick it up. And those are the 5 books that I want to read this spring that I don't know if I'm gonna have time to, but I fingers crossed will. Let me know if you want to read any of these, if you've read any of these. Let me know what's on your spring TBR. I'm always looking for new recommendations. I promised you this video was gonna be short, and it was. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.